Look, you can't have a baby.
Why not? It's a free city, isn't it?
You just can't.
Oh, yeah? Then what's this?
Oh, my goodness!
You know, I thought we were done with this stuff. That we were done. That after seeing Carl from Jimmy Neutron get pregnant with an alien in his butt, well, that would be enough to convince people that we shouldn't look back on these types of episodes. That we've had our fill. Turns out, I was wrong, and some of you wonderful people aren't quite satisfied. So here we are, again, probably gonna get demonetized, again. Yeah, that's right, YouTube won't allow it, but Nickelodeon will. Go figure that one out.
Shut down this whorehouse!
Ozzy and Drix, a cartoon spin-off from the animated movie Osmosis Jones. Created by Warner Brothers and released in 2001, this film is about the inner workings of Bill Murray, not that. How a bunch of anthropomorphic cells live and work in a city within the person they inhabit, not that. And how these cells operate from a headquarters that can influence decisions made for their person, no, not that. So I saw the movie when it first came out, and I thought it was pretty solid. Not fantastic, but solid. At that point in my young life, this movie concept was something I've never seen before. So it was cool to see a bunch of characters working together to fight off germs and viruses, so they can protect their person. Albeit a nasty person. Seriously, Frank was disgusting. I legitimately could not eat hard-boiled eggs for about a year after watching this movie.
Honey, 10-second rule. Hits the ground, you pick it up within 10 seconds, you can eat it.
Ugh.
The characters for the movie were also pretty great. You got Chris Rock as the voice of our main character, Osmosis Jones. You got Frasier, who is the voice of Drix. And then Lawrence Fishburne, burn the fish. We got Lawrence Fishburne as Thrax, one of the coolest villains I've ever seen in an animated film.
Oh, baby, this ain't about no hustle. This is about the baddest illness any of y'all have ever seen.
Also, there are a lot of people who want to screw this guy. Gonna blur that out.
Oh, baby, this ain't about no hustle.
Unfortunately for the film, it was a complete flop. I wonder why. It lost, oh man, a lot of money. Though, to be fair, this was a rough time for 2D animated films. They were dropping like flies left and right. Regardless, the movie got a spin-off and was called Ozzy and Drix. Now, I'm not sure if the decision to make the cartoon series was made before or after the release of the film, but I'd imagine before. I couldn't imagine some Hollywood producer going, wow, we lost what, $50 million on this movie? Let's make a cartoon show. Though it was cool to see the show expand on the premise from the movie. You got these two buddy cops, one a white blood cell and the other a cold pill. And they run around the body of the new kid they inhabit and protect their home from any kinds of germs. So one last thing before we get to the actual rundown of the episode. I want to tell you all a quick, weird, oddly specific story that's related to Ozzy and Drix. Like, it's related, but not related. I'll explain. So this might be a surprise, but I was not a very popular kid. I was like sitting at the uncool table when I was a child. Well, I was actually invited to a sleepover by a friend of mine, which had never happened before. This was a first for me, so I was very excited. I remember waking up that Saturday morning and watching Ozzy and Drix with my friend. We both watched the movie and we were nerding out over the show. But, and here's where things get really weird but interesting. My friend told me when I first got to the house that his dad owns a pet parrot, but it only listened and liked the father. The rest of the family lived in fear of it. So we're watching the episode for Ozzy and Drix, and all of a sudden, I hear my friend's little sister scream in terror as she ran through the living room screaming, "It got out! Run away!" And I turned my head and looked in horror as this massive, molting parrot dinosaur stood in the doorway. The next thing I remember was seeing my friend run in the opposite direction as I sat petrified in the room. By the way, while this was all happening, Ozzy and Drix was playing in the background. Like, I vividly remember that. Fortunately, the parrot went after my friend, and I made a mad dash for the bathroom. And then I locked the door. A few minutes later, the dad got home, corralled the terrifying dinosaur bird, and then I called my parents and told them to get me the heck out of there. So the episode is called Ozzy Jr. Oh man, here we go. We see Ozzy and Drix dressed up to go see a movie at the theater. But along the way, they get into a fight with a bunch of germs.
I've seen this before. They're illegally mining mineral deposits.
Not for long, they aren't.
They throw down, have a fight, make some bad jokes, and then Ozzy gets shot with a blow dart.
Ozzy!
Pleasure doing business with you.
We then see Ozzy start to act weird. Like, really weird. Should have worn protection. So it turns out that Ozzy was infected by some kind of parasite, but he's convinced that it's actually his baby.
What's going on?
I'm gonna have a baby.
Unfortunately for Ozzy, whatever's inside him is growing fast, as his belly gets larger and larger.
That thing in his belly is getting bigger fast.
Oh, is it? I hadn't noticed.
I'm sure that's somebody's fetish.
Oh, that's hot. That's hot.
Ozzy and his friends are trying to figure out what's happening, and they try and get some help from some kind of informant guy.
So, when are you expecting?
Actually, we're pretty sure it's not a baby.
Of course it's not a baby. I meant, when are you expecting to die?
The informant then tells Ozzy who infected him and where to find him.
I know who has done this to you, Jones. Do not ask me how. Here is location of his hideout.
So it turns out that this villain character is trying to get revenge on Ozzy, since he beat him in the past, by sucking him into his crotch. That's probably somebody's fetish. And then, of course, we get a villainous monologue as this guy tells us what's going on.
I've done one thing and one thing only, Jones. Plan my revenge.
Ozzy and his friends get out, but then all hell breaks loose.
Now that looks nasty.
You know what? It feels even worse than it looks.
Real talk, that's terrifying. Like, to have something in your body that controls you. He's not even really a person anymore. He's like a gun. During the chaos, a bunch of other cells start to get infected. Oh, don't worry, they'll tell you.
I'm infected! I'm infected!
Drix and Maria then use a pie. Oh, Lord. This episode. Drix and Maria then use a pie to stop the monster. Okay.
An enormous pie, of course.
Go for it!
Oh, somebody's fat.
I have had enough.
The parasite then gets crushed by a building, and then the episode is over.
Never underestimate the power of pie.
So yeah, that's it, folks. No more weird episode topics about pregnant characters for me. I've had my fill.
Get it out! Get it out!
Nope. Nope. Nope.
No!